traditionally, the industry have relied heavily on supplementing our animals with the inorganic form of trace minerals, including copper, zinc, manganese, iron, and selenium. However, these inorganic forms, typically referred to as sulfates or sodium selenite, are not typically the most bioavailable form, and therefore it does not really lead to improving overall trace mineral status for our animals. Typically, these products are byproducts from other industrial processes, so not only are they inexpensive, but animals are not typically adapted to absorb and utilize these trace mineral forms in the organic form that's typically just better absorbed, utilized, and much more bioavailable. So when we use organic forms such as Bioplex and Salplex, what we see is that animals typically absorb and utilize better, so they're in better trace mineral status, and therefore we refer to trace minerals in this form as more bioavailable and better for the animal in terms of overall performance as well. Animals need to be healthy to perform to their maximized genetic potential. So when we supplement with inorganic trace minerals, we not always address their trace mineral requirements, since it's not as bioavailable as relying on the organic form of these essential nutrients. Animals need trace minerals, especially copper, zinc, manganese, and selenium on a daily basis to help support their immune system. And when we supplement with organic trace minerals such as Bioplex and Salplex, not only do we see improvement in their trace mineral status and overall immunity, but because they are in better immunity and health, they are going to grow better, they're going to perform better, and we're also going to see this reflect in reproductive efficiency. And in the end of the day, our producers get paid on protein produced. So if we can make the animals healthier, they're going to perform better, and that's going to have a direct impact on our producers' bottom line or profitability. Animals rely on micronutrients, these vitamins and trace minerals, for optimized health and immunity. And immunity really starts in the gut with optimizing nutrient absorption. What we've seen with supplementing animals in the form of organic trace minerals is not only it's going to have a direct impact on natural immune defenses, including by improving glutathione peroxidase and other antioxidant systems, but with organic trace minerals, we're also going to see less degradation of other vitamins, essentially to support the immune system. For example, with Bioplexes, we see better integrity of vitamin D within the premix, so less degradation, and therefore we can expect, and we have seen, improvements in eggshell quality as well. One of the biggest benefits we have seen when substituting out inorganic trace minerals with Bioplex and Salplex in cell rations is that not only do we improve overall immunity of the cells, but we can have a significant impact on reproductive efficiency as expressed by less days open, so shorter intervals between getting bred and farrowing, but also in terms of litter size. Not only do we see increase in litter size with Bioplex and Salplex, but also overall quality of the litters that cells supplemented with Bioplex and Salplex have. For example, cells supplemented with Bioplex and Salplex have less piglets under the critical weight of 1 kilo, and we've typically seen improvements in body weight and weaning weight from litters from these cells supplementing with Bioplex and Salplex. When supplementing with inorganic trace minerals such as the sulfates, we typically see that the industry feed at extremely high levels in order to try and address the feeding tube recommendations. However, when we feed these high levels with sulfates, we typically see very high levels of excretion of these heavy metals back into the environment that can have a negative impact on soil and water quality. So that's just one aspect, is seeing higher levels of excretion with inorganics, where with Bioplex and Salplex, it's higher bioavailability. So we see better retention, absorption and retention, and less of these minerals excreted back in the environment. The other aspect is that whenever we see improvement in performance, we actually have a direct impact on the amount of protein produced with the same number of hens or sows. And whenever you have an improvement in performance, you're actually going to have a positive impact on the operations environmental footprint as well. What we've seen with Bioplex and Salplex is that it's going to support overall immunity, reproductive, and gains. And we've seen this in studies done at universities, we've seen this in commercial situations, and we've seen this across different regions and livestock species. So one of the things I always tell producers to ask for is product-specific research and product-specific recommendations. With Bioplex, we have a tremendous amount of research, and it's been consistent across species, across regions, and I think that's key for producers to look for product-specific recommendations to help support profitability in their specific regions as well. At Alltech, we've always had a tremendous emphasis on the ACE principle, meaning that we have to provide natural nutritional solutions that's not only good for the animal, but the environment and the consumer as well. Whenever we can improve production efficiencies, we can have a direct impact on the environmental footprint of our industry as well. Every day, our producers is tasked by feeding a growing population, but doing so in an environmental, respective and responsible way as well. And with Bioplex and Cellplex and some of our other nutritional technologies, that has been our core focus, is to feed animals to perform as close to their genetic potential as possible, and doing so by minimizing the negative impact we can have on the environment at the same time, and providing nutritious protein for a growing population.